Hi, this is Hugh Cushing of WhiteSource Software, and this is another in our series of videos about the WhiteSource Bitbucket integration. Today I'm going to talk about finding the results of your scans outside of Bitbucket. As you're probably aware, if you've used it, the Bitbucket integration is very good about telling you about security vulnerabilities in your open source projects, license policy violations, and optionally some other things such as Renovate, which will tell you if any of your libraries are out of date, period, whether or not there are security vulnerabilities associated with the out of date licenses or the out of date libraries, rather. But in some cases, you want to know more than that. So, for example, you can't go in Bitbucket and get an entire inventory of all the open source libraries you're using, for example. But that's definitely something that WhiteSource can do. It's just that's a report that's available through the WhiteSource UI, among other places. So how do you find that, given that all you have so far is a scan in Bitbucket? Well, if you go into a particular Bitbucket project and into a particular Bitbucket repository within that project, you see this scan has happened and it reports the results here. But those results are also available up in the WhiteSource UI. Now you'll notice here the projects are called, there's a few projects in here, and the one I'm going to talk about is webgoat underscore 2.0, and the short name for that is web in Bitbucket, okay? And if we drill down into this project, you'll see that project contains one repository, which happens to have the same name, webgoat underscore 2.0, okay? Now, if we go to the organization that we belong to within WhiteSource, you'll see there's a product that corresponds to the project name in Bitbucket. So you'll see there's a product called bb underscore web, and web was the short name of the project in Bitbucket. And if we drill down into this project, you'll see that project contains one repository, which happens to have the same name, webgoat underscore 2.0. Okay. Now, if we go to the organization that we belong to within WhiteSource, you'll see there's a product that corresponds to the project name in Bitbucket. So you'll see there's a product called bb underscore web, and web was the short name of the project in Bitbucket. That's a type type mismatch there, I know, of overloaded terms, but there is no set of, Jesus. And within this product, you'll see there's one project, and that project is called bb underscore webgoat underscore 2.0, and that corresponds to the repository here, the one repository within the Bitbucket project. So if you wanted to see the scan results for this repository, you would look for a bb underscore webgoat 2.0 webgoat project within the bb underscore web product. And here is all your findings. And you can see a lot more about your open source footprint than you would be able to see from the Bitbucket integration. Here you have all the reports that you can run. Up here, you can set new policies. There are a bunch of different dashboards that you might find helpful, a bunch of widgets and policies, alerts, or excuse me, project alerts that you might find useful here. The most common thing that people do, though, is to go here and get an inventory of all the open source libraries that are used in this project. That's a very common reason that people need to go to the WhiteSource UI, because we don't put all that kind of stuff in Bitbucket because there's no logical place to put it. But this way, you can do the scans in Bitbucket and still have all the capabilities of WhiteSource as a whole if you visit the findings in the UI.